in terms of remuneration. Here I have told you that once you have seen General Museveni, the deal is finished. They can give you the people free. And this you have had. Let me tell you, here in Tororo Cement. And secondly, for us to come here and talk about it is to cure the problem. Wait, I'm going to be there. Members of Parliament, the commission headed by Anita Among, today, as I speak, or yesterday, they are already also advocating for the increment of their salaries. If you are increasing from your side, and you are increasing from the benefit of taxpayers' money, then you should consider the life of those. That is why I told you, if you're going to give a teacher 200,000 shillings, first of all, sit down and break that 200,000 shillings per day. Wait, I'm using an example. But they are also not well, but you know they are not well paid, even if you say 500,000 shillings.
You know, you talk about authority. I have authority. I earn 3.7. I want to tell President Museveni that you earn 3.7, but why do we earn salary? I pay fees for my children on that salary. Do you? Food, you own state house. So, by the way, even the 3.7, for what? Does he need it?
Yeah, it is why food taxi.
Yeah, you hear even says, Mama receives the balance after remitting to NRM. So that really shows you
survives on allowance
that you don't need.
He's lucky.
He's lucky. He does not need that money.
Because you are appointed RDC. They don't ask for your qualifications. They don't ask for what. Although even by law, even just being an NRM cadre, they give you an appointment and you earn 2 million shillings. No, but you're not considering. No, he's not considerate of a professional teacher who is subjected to interviews, a professional teacher who is subjected to interviews, who is subjected to work output in terms of creating and teaching other students. He's not minding about him, but he is selfish and minding about himself. But I'm not surprised. Bwana RDC, are you aware? Bwana RDC, are you aware that health workers want to put down their tools? Those who work during COVID? Are you aware that are you aware? Wait, because the agreement they had with government over their remuneration and working environment was not fulfilled.
Colleagues, forgive this RDC.
Coffee, I told you about agriculture. The reason I told you about the PS, that as General Museveni, and what the question was telling me is that they are looking at emancipating agriculture. That is the question. And I told you there is already a problem. The head of state and the permanent secretary of Ministry of Finance are not on the same page.
For your own information, even these pays, people have side incomes in agriculture, in value addition, in sales of products. They would at least cover up with the search sector. But today, we are talking about a Myoga, the other day, parish development model. If all that money had gone into agriculture mechanization and commercialization in terms of adding the value, it would have been so easy.
So if you're going to improve the labor life of the people here, first of all, what they are working on, you must add value to it. If you want to improve Emojong here from earning from growing coffee and working, then create a company that is going to roast this coffee, which will increase the value, and then this person will live in terms and conditions of the area where he is. Let me tell you, there is no will by government to the laborers. In Kenya, there was an increment of 12%.
When you create jobs, then you come to the point, and I want Waiswa to get this very well. Then you come to the point of conditions for the workers there. If you say that it is very important for us to safeguard the conditions of the 30% who are employed, and we ignore the 70% who are unemployed, then you are being very unfair and unfortunate. That becomes regrettable. The point to mark here is that we need to create employment, mass employment, create jobs, then we address the conditions of those.
Are you doing either?
But also, the government has already put their conditions and legal frameworks and policies that monitor the already employed people. For the attention of Emajon, in case a person who is working in Tororo Cement is mistreated, there are legal frameworks in which he can seek redress, legal redress for the mistreatment, for mitigation. But in case that person has kept silent and amped about it, we cannot know whatever is happening everywhere.
You know, Matthew.
So, it is
information.
true we need to
Just
focus.
information to you, I mean.
Yes.
You know, anyway, I know you are excited because recently you got appointed as the deputy RDC. That one is okay. This is not an insult, but I want to tell you.
No, but Rami has always been here before.
Excuse me. Let's not live with excitement.
Okay, what
There
about
are
me?
facts.
What will you
Let
say?
me tell you.
Am I also excited?
Do not discuss issues of issues
are
that
telling
affect
me.
the people. Yes, I am giving information. Do not discuss these issues with excitement because you have an appointment.
Emojong, what is
Go-
the information?
go-
What is the information?
Information.
Go-
Emojong, give the information.
I mean,
The
when we had nothing.
Go,
Yes.
go,
The information.
Yeah, we have always been here.
go
But
to
when
the
we are
district
sleeping
level
hungry.
officer here, Mr. Jorum, and see how many reports have been presented by the people who work there, and tell me if there has ever been any remedy to any report. Just
Now that is
2
him.
months
You
ago.
are district councillor.
We
You
lost
are district councillor,
somebody from
and it is
Petra.
your district where you were head.
We lost
where
some-
your
I mean,
level
you have
officer is
time.
not working.
Emojong, we
It
seem
is
not
your
to be
level
getting
officer
the
not
information.
working.
Yes.
Let him go here.
No, no, Emojong,
Emojong.
let's allow them
Emojong.
to debate. Yes, it is a debate.
I am not denying that some workers are not mistreated. People are mistreated, it is unfortunate. But it is collective responsibility. You, government, I, and others. When you see that injustice, come and prevail over. The government has put in place, among the others, justice centers for such cases. Where cases have not been noted, it is unfortunate. For the purpose of attention of my brother Waiswa, we need more to create jobs, more now to create jobs for the more than 70% who are not having jobs, as we look for the better conditions. But the main focus is let's have everybody, let's have very many people with jobs.
But now this, what is
Also-
the policy in place that we can look at and say they are heading this direction and we are hoping for jobs? You tell us.
Of course, the government has put in place very many measures. One of them,
Middle income
infrastructure
economy. as a
development.
policy. We intend to
Infrastructure development. My brother Ramadan. With
Myoga.
infrastructure development,
with that.
like construction of hydro electricity power station, construction of roads.
What is the cost of
There we are
power tariff
building-
in
The
Uganda?
We are
cost will be shall handle
we are
later.
creating
We say we want
opportunity
more power, then the cost we shall discuss.
Of-
Gentlemen, let's talk one at
for
a time.
employment. Let me not forget to say, my brother Waiswa said we have not built any
New infrastructure.
recently, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We opened, we launched the school
Mm.
in the Bumufuni sub-county.
Even
Ramburi
Malaba
district.
City here, Malaba
The
City.
school
Let
has,
him speak.
the school has
Mm.
4 staff quarters.
Mm.
In my district where I come from,
How
that
many staffs?
we have over 80 staff houses that have been built.
You show us the pictures. You have the phone there.
So,
But are people seeing the pictures? If
For the benefit of all of us and the presenter.
People are hearing.
I-
They not distract us.
interruption, members. It is not true to say that the government has not build infrastructure for accommodation for its workers. In the private sector, we are guided by the policy of creating a favorable environment for investment. In this policy, we attract investors. As we attract investors, the main goal there is for them to come and create jobs for our people. Now, Waiswa and others say that these investors come and they are given tax holidays. It is true to say that in many, if not all countries, all foreign investors are given incentives. They are given incentives. You will not have an investor come and risk all his or her money here without an incentive. The incentives attract them. But we are also saying that maybe if the incentives are too much, we revise. We revise.
When you are talking, others are quiet. Let's have the same respect.
Like in the case of the Vince company.
Pinetti.
For
coffee.
For coffee. Room has been created for revision, and we are watching the space to see. Uganda is a democratic country. When people raise up, we listen. We give people attention, we give people time to assess, analyze. Now, in our companies, we have very many private companies that are employing Ugandans under unfavorable conditions. But also, some of our fellow countrymen and women, you look at the way they are employed. If a person comes to seek a job, by all means he wants, and when he's given a job, and there is no appointment, the terms and conditions are not there. In such situations, we should all watch the space.
Okay.
The biggest problem with us, the Waiswas see it as an opportunity of abusing government. Emajo can only come to radio and say that some people are, our brothers in Toro Cement are mistreated. But what have you done as Waiswa? You are also government. Government is the people.
Thank you so much.
Let's do much.
Let me get to Waiswa. Speaking during the International Labour Day celebration held at Kolo Ceremonial Grounds on Sunday afternoon, Museveni said Uganda has everything and can be self-reliant and stay clear of all the world economic dynamics. He said the only thing that Ugandans have to worry about at the moment is the weather, which affects agricultural production. Now, government seems to shift the gears into agriculture as a means of solving labor challenges. And is government doing enough to fatten this sector?
We are very worried. The late Speaker Jacob Olanya, on the answer of Parliament, said that there are times when you think whether the people presiding over government are mad people or there is nobody at all. And this is informative to the same. I was listening to Gobi, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Finance, speaking at the Tumusime Mutebire Memorial Lecture. And he was lambasting agriculture. Totally. He is the PS of Finance. One brought to bring new... somebody looked at to take the country into...
that works. That was the...
He said, the economy that works. He said agriculture is not part of it. But that very individual is giving all our coffee to a mafia who we have now discovered that is the mother of the other Italian boy, Brian White, because they have the same character, Pinetti and the other one, Mama Brian White. The amount of money, if you are telling us that on Labor Day government is looking at, first of all, look at the outlook of the Labor Day celebrations. Compare them with the East African countries he's talking about. First of all, let me go on record. We are the worst in terms of labor remuneration in East Africa. I think we may not even be competing with Southern Sudan. In terms of remuneration, here I have told you that once you have seen General Museveni, the deal is finished. They can give you the people free. And this you have heard. Let me tell you, here in Tororo Cement. And secondly, for us to come here and talk about it is to cure the problem. Wait, I'm going to be there. Tororo Cement. Tororo Cement here, they are Indians who do not even have work permits. But if we went to Tororo Cement from here, I can tell you there's somebody they are bullying who is a person from here. Entitled by a person who has no work permit. Where is the equity? Where is the equality for justice?
We are yet to verify.
You look at, I have told you we are free even to go as of now if you have capacity. Now, when my brother here, he has been struggling with the fact that they are going to review the Kofi Vinci, and I've just realized that is the deputy RDC. To save him his job, such that he's not sacked, General Museveni said that that agreement will be put to use. He will not review it. And that is his speech on Labor Day. So as you are here thinking that there is democracy, you have heard the dictator. He's giving a different mind, and you are in his office.
And to add on that, it is on record. He doesn't have any business record as far as
I want to tell you also that the welfare of workers has deteriorated. It has not improved. And I want to give you these facts clearly. Let me give you an example. We had the Uganda Electricity Board. If we are going across the Nile, opposite the Uganda Electricity Board, those were the Amber Court Estate. That was the Amber Court Estate. It was for those who are working, both expatriate, but also the casual laborers who are working in the Uganda Electricity Board. When this regime took power, what did they first do? They stole all that land. Now, part of the land nearly all belongs to General Salim Saleh, stolen by an individual and not developed. Now, for you are telling me that it is a better life when today the replacement, that is why I'm here on TV and if on radio. And if I'm saying a lie, I can be prosecuted for defamation. I'm telling you the land was taken by General Saleh. And I also want to unequivocally tell you that they replaced it with Umeme. Umeme has not built any infrastructure. Apart from siphoning money, they divided it into three: generation, distribution, and transmission. For us, when we finished, and I can tell you that even in generation today, Uganda, you are talking about we need power. We are generating power, we are not consuming, and we are paying a lot of money for it, over 1 trillion shillings. And that is daylight robbery by the agreements that have been signed by this regime. I think you're going to have misinformation. Amber, you talked about companies. I am
was about agriculture.
And
you start very well with reference about the PS.
Yes.
But now you are going and deviating.
The PS, I wanted to tell you. No, that actually, I finished.
It would be good when you are sliding away on a right.
No. Coffee, I told you about agriculture. The reason I told you about the PS, that as General Museveni, and what the question was telling me is that they are looking at emancipating agriculture. That is the question. And I told you there is already a problem. The head of state and the permanent secretary of Ministry of Finance are not on the same page. Because the Minister of Finance is, the PS is telling you, the architect of the treasury, the architect of the economy is telling you, you will not benefit from agriculture. And yet for us, we know that agriculture only needs one thing: for all our people to have their life changed. Let me tell you, where you take your labor in UAE, they only have oil. In 2019, Switzerland, why I'm giving you the effects of labor is because labor is a factor of production. In 2017, to tell you the issue of the PS, why he did not understand what he's saying, it's not only food, it's from agriculture that we get all these many things. Coffee, Switzerland, they attained over 250 billion, 2.5 billion, 2.5 billion US dollars out of roasted coffee. They don't grow coffee. For us here, we grow coffee, but we got, and they were only achieving that out of 80,000 tons. For us, we exported 285 tons of coffee. You know how much we got? 440 450 million US dollars. So if you're going to improve the labor life of the people here, first of all, what they are working on, you must add value to it. If you want to improve Emojong here from earning from growing coffee and working, then create a company that is going to roast this coffee, which will increase
The value.
the value, and then this person will live in terms and conditions of the area where he is. Let me tell you, there is no will by government to the laborers. In Kenya, there was an increment of 12%. When you look at the way His Excellency Kenyatta was addressing the workers in Nairobi, first of all, it was not a military function. They called all of the people where they work from, they were all in uniform. Then he gave them the news that because of the circumstances we are in as a country, government minds about you. Your salaries have been increased everywhere in the whole country, whether a domestic worker, whether a casual worker, whether an expatriate. He said the increment of salary has gone now to 12%. But what did your president tell you? Just like the prime minister, he told you to eat cassava. The prime minister told you to wash your clothes using pawpaw leaves. And the first lady told you carry flasks of porridge. Now, somebody is telling you don't need wheat and flour, the first lady, and then the husband is telling you you need cassava. So if you are having such people and you compare them with what the other regions around us are doing, then you know that you have a bigger problem. But the bigger problem to me...
What is wrong with eating cassava?
No, but there is nothing wrong with eating cassava. But if you make it a substitute, listen, why is government now today increasing its salaries? General Museveni's budget has grown as a result of the inflation. Wait, General Museveni's budget, you're talking about budget and life. General Museveni's budget has grown from 493 billion to 800 official. He's in charge of State House. State House budget. State House budget.
It's not from that office.
That's where
office salary,
from. So
not his
State House budget
has
grown from 490 to 840 as a result of inflation and not being able to buy bread. Now they are telling you a Ugandan who is giving them all those taxes, that for them, let them increase their lifestyle to the match where they have been, but for you go and eat cassava. That is where we have the problem. Members of Parliament, the commission headed by Anita Among, today, as I speak, or yesterday, they are already also advocating for the increment of their salaries. If you are increasing from your side, and you are increasing from the benefit of taxpayers' money, then you should consider the life of those. That is why I told you, if you're going to give a teacher 200,000 shillings, first of all, sit down and break that 200,000 shillings per day. Wait, I'm using an example. They are also not well, but you know they are not well paid, even if you say 500,000 shillings. Because you are an appointed RDC, they don't ask for your qualifications, they don't ask for what, although even by law, even just being an NRM cadre, they give you an appointment and you earn 2 million shillings.
No,
but you're not considering, he's not considerate of a professional teacher who is subjected to interviews, a professional teacher who is subjected to interviews, who is subjected to work output in terms of creating and teaching other students. He's not minding about him, but he is selfish and minding about himself. But I'm not surprised. That is the character and form of Dictator Museveni.
Let me bring in Magino on board. The president also maintained his stand on prioritizing better payment for civil servants in science-related fields as workers push for harmonization of salary across the board. What is the danger of prioritizing one sector and abandon the other?
You know, workplaces, when we are looking at pay, scales of pay worldwide, they are determined by qualifications, not area you studied. Now, I want to begin with how he brought it. That you talk about authority. I have authority. I earn 3.7. I want to tell President Museveni that you earn 3.7. But why do we earn salary? I pay fees for my children on that salary. Do you? food, you on State House. So by the way, even the 3.7 for what? Does he need it?
That is why food taxi.
Yeah, you hear even says Mama receives the balance after remitting to NRM. So that really shows you
survives on allowance
that you don't need.
He's lucky.
He's lucky. He does not need that money. For us, we are asking for increment. We are asking for increment, but there is no timing which would be better for this country to increase the pay than now. Why did Uhuru increase the pay? It was to match the skyrocketing prices. That we are going to these markets with the very meager resources. Can we increase to match the cost of living? Simple. This does not even need meetings and so on.
But President Museveni appealed for salary increment.
No,
but the bill was before him. Did he sign?
No,
it's like you have not been in this
no, they have a policy to chase all those who advocate for salary increase. You know that is they have said that on all platforms.
Do you remember him refusing to sign?
Let me give
on the minimum.
The information I'm giving is that the president advocated for salary increment, and actually, what public service has okayed is that the increment will be in phases.
That is not true.
Even next financial year, there is evidence. There is evidence that some
Bwana RDC, are you aware?
Are going to have
Bwana RDC,
about a minimum.
Are you aware? Are you aware that health workers want to put down their tools? Those who work during COVID. Are you aware? That are you aware? Wait, because the agreement they had with government over their remuneration and working environment was not fulfilled.
Colleagues, forgive this RDC.
Yes, madam.
What I was saying, it was purely to match the cost of living. Now, when you tell people that you go and eat cassava. By the way, from this regime we are using, the eaters know what I'm going to say. Former Minister of Agriculture, Victoria Sechtoreko, one time he was there was a lot of famine in that region. Do you know, when you are looking for hope, what he told them, eat mangoes. Up to today, those people became so annoyed with the sun. So what we are saying, we seek for hope.
I want to correct that impression you are giving to the public.
We seek
that you are saying the
from
people
our
of
leaders.
are very annoyed with the government.
Yes.
No, we are saying
when they have a vice president, when they have a speaker, they are annoyed.
With which power?
Which
power?
Power of the people on the ground.
I don't think with no authority.
Are you the one who chairs parliament?
Okay.
You tell us. Because you cannot tell me the people of Teso are very annoyed with the government because they are eating mangoes.
Before you talk,
but you just raise your point. Those issues leave for Matthew. Leave for Matthew. The truth is you can't tell us
what people say. You even don't know what I said. I said former Minister of Agriculture, Victoria Sechtoreko, it is on record. He went there. When the leader
is a woman or a man?
I'm talking.
And you are saying he went there. He went there.
So
we clear in this small.
So when she went there, that's what happened. But that is not the point. The point is, when you are a leader, you come seeking for votes and so on. What we are looking for is the solutions in you. You don't just abandon the citizenship when there is a problem. So if we ask the government, the way he has the solutions, like you are saying, to attract investors here by giving them. By the way, you did not count all. They also give them subsidies on electricity, even the transport. Just imagine all that. The way you can think about such people and you say, no, for us to attract investors, to keep them happy. By the way, even the issue of labor, is he always makes a statement that don't pay them high. Because for him, he's not, for us, he believes that the foreign investor should get cheap labor here and invest here. Now, for us, we are saying that this government, even you don't go, we say it like that, President Museveni policy than when he had accepted and launched agriculture mechanization and commercialization. For your own information, even these pays, people have side incomes in agriculture, in value addition, in sales of products. They would at least cover up with the search sector. But today, we are talking about Emyoga, the other day, parish development model. If all that money had gone into agriculture mechanization and commercialization in terms of adding the value, it would have been so easy. So,
okay. Just in a second.
Okay. So for us, what we are saying that first of all, our leaders, especially opposition parties, when there are challenges, right from time of industrialization, when there were challenges in the workforce, people listen to only one language, that is activism. Where are you, people of NU, as a leading opposition party, to lead the activism? Because these people are not asking questions to do reports and what. They are led by activism. That's why people go for industrial action. For example, people are laying down their tools, what and so on. But what about on the political side? On this high rocketed crisis? We don't want just to say that maybe there's a challenge, but you need to offer leadership.
Okay.
In terms of how do you push this?
This is a choice, Simon Peter. My regards to the Deputy spokesperson, Alex. Nothing good for workers here in Uganda. When workers earn 3,000 per day and the head of state, instead of fixing it, tells us to go and eat cassava, while Uhuru of Kenya was increasing theirs by 12. Also talk about agricultural banks. Now, to Fred Emojong, what do you think government can do to create that competitive and also that, I mean, a well-managed labor workforce? What should the government do?
Thank you so much. First of all, it is not
Shaitanur Rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Nze Haji Kaboggoza omusomi w'edduwa ntereeza ensonga z'amaka ebyenfuna n'endwadde ezitategeerekeka. Haji Kaboggoza omusomi w'edduwa nsiŋŋaanibwa ekitigoma ku lw'ejjinja. Bw'obanga otuuse ekitigoma mu ttawuni ku siteegi osobola okuba ku nnamba z'essimu ezo z'olaba zitambula. Gwe wenna ali ewala oyinza okuyita ku mukutu gwaffe ogwa WhatsApp ku layini eyo eya MTN obudde bwonna mbeerako. Bw'obanga otuuse ekitigoma ku siteegi osobola okulaba aba boda ne bakuleeta awaka oba n'onkubira ku nnamba